Okay, so have you had a chance to finish reading our excerpt from Silent Spring?
Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, so tell me if you can, what was the author's main purpose?
The author's main purpose was to show this non-existent town that everyone would dream of living, that has all the birds, the beautiful springs, and livestock.
Okay, so they wanted to show us what about it?
Is this, I'll say a utopia of place that doesn't really exist, that just has everything that's beautiful.
Okay. Was it to to persuade, to inform? So you're saying to inform us about that?
I'd say somewhat, but it kind of changes when you get a little bit more down down to the last few paragraphs.
Okay, excellent. So there's a secondary purpose.
Yes.
Okay, great. And what is that secondary purpose?
I would say the secondary purpose is to inform on.
What was the main purpose? The main purpose was to entertain and inform. What were you entertaining and inform? The readers and basically the audience. Okay, so outside of that, what was the secondary thing? What do you think the secondary purpose of this play was? Really to highlight the social injustice of the time. Yes, sir. All right. What makes you think that it was social injustice? Was it in the book? What was it from? When they moved into that they new neighborhood from the race, like the project race. Yeah. So based off of that, they moved from the projects going into a new place, right? Yes, sir. All right. So do you think that's relevant in today's time? Yes, sir. You're absolutely you're right. In some places, you're absolutely right. In my new neighborhood, I just moved in this week. There's only 2 black people, me and somebody else. So, so, so if you could summarize the story in your own words, what? Really, a family coming from the struggle into dreams into reality, but really moving into a different neighborhood and becoming a better family and growing together. So as far as the dream, right? Mm-hmm. The dream is supposed to be the American dream, or just the dream of people, or what we talk? Well, Walter his dream really got crushed, but the mom dream really wanted to be a family and grow and put the kid in a different place. Because I know the story so well, son, I'm gonna put a different option on you that I always do every time somebody has read this book. So you give the money to do what Mom did, or you do what Walter did. But what if you take the money from the investor and run that price up, and then you still be able to get a house, you still be able to get Walter his store, and you still be able to step beneath the school. But you look like a coward in front of your son. Would you do something like that? Yes. It's a decision, so that's one and the same. Yeah. So yeah. But I'm glad y'all understand the story though. If you got anything else and you want to talk about this story, man, it's a lot more deeper than that. It's just really and truly how deep you want to get into it. It will be fun. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes.
All right, so we just finished reading The Open Window by Saki. We did it as a class, so I'm going to ask Lyria a few questions about the story. So, what do you think the author's main purpose of this story was? Do you think it was to inform, to persuade, to entertain? What do you think?
Definitely entertain.
And why do you think that?
Because she really did it for her own amusement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a secondary purpose to this story? Like, why would the author write what he did about the story? Is there something, another message or something else that he was wanting to get across?
I think he was trying to get across that not everything other people say is true. You know, he never got to speak to the woman. He got to speak to his first was a liar.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's true. And so, what did we talk about with fear? Like when the fear that he had, and how did she, like, I guess, build on that Do you remember?
Because when they were talking, she was getting to know him. He was kind of talking about how, he kind of got something wrong with him mentally as well.
He's nervous and all that kind of stuff, right? All right. So, what evidence from the text makes you see that he is a nervous person? What are some little things that he does?
Like doing stuff with his
He was fiddling,
yeah, like he was doing something like
and he was
keep yourself composed.
yeah, and he was shaking that teacup and stuff, and he kept talking about what his mental state and all that.
Exactly. So she took advantage of that.
Yes, because he was a very nervous individual. So who was the audience for this story? Do you think?
We were the class.
Okay, and what do you think we learned? What we're trying to? What do you think the author was trying to reach? And what was his message to us?
I think his message to us was more as like don't let. I mean, he told her way too much to not know her. She didn't tell him enough about herself.
That's
He
true.
was all talking about himself because he was so nervous. He was just talking.
And already and on the get go said, yeah, I don't know anybody. And then she's oh, you don't know anything, and that was the open window, open door to. There you go. So, what were some of the key points that you picked out from this short story? Well, that was one. The open, like he opened himself up.
Way too open. Also, she was very manipulative.
She was.
I think she was just bored with and just wanted to amuse herself. Because she knew she'd get the best of him since he didn't know anything, didn't know anybody.
And then she even made up a story about him when he left out of the house. All right. So if you were to summarize this in your own words in about, I don't know, a couple of sentences, how would you summarize the story for us? Like if you're trying to tell someone who's never read it before, what's the story
I
about?
was telling that it was a little girl, and he came to come visit. Why did he come visit?
To get away to the countryside because of his nervous condition.
Exactly. And he met the niece first. And so he started rambling, and was telling his whole life story and mental staying how he didn't know about it. And she took the best of it and thought maybe I can just lie and just say something just to scare him because I know my uncle and cousin about to be back soon. So my real lie say they're him.
And it's for entertainment. And they walk through, and he thinks they're ghosts, but they're not at all. So what part of the article was unclear? Was there a part of it that you were like, I just didn't understand?
No, it wasn't. It also kind of tricked me too because when she was telling it, I'm like, damn, they probably did that. When they came through, I'm thinking like, oh, so they might be ghosts. But when he left, they were actually
Exactly. The author made us believe it too because of her. Exactly.
She kind of tricked us.
100%. Was there any word in there that you saw that you were like, I have no idea what that means?
It was kind of a self-possessed thing.
Self-possessed. So we kind of talked about that a little bit. And I said it's when someone has control of themselves, and they don't let other people get to them. So I'm going to look it up real quick and see if it has a better definition in the dictionary, and then we'll go from there. Y'all are doing great, guys, by the way.
Appreciate you, Bob.
Whatever. Self-possessed. Self-addressed. Self-wielding. HHJK. Self-respect. Self-possessed. Full control of one's feelings and actions. So we were about right.
Yeah.
Having full control. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you, Shaleria. Bye.